Am I the asshole for laughing at my mother-in-law when she ate my snacks and got way too high? My wife and I just moved back to her hometown. We love living in a big city, but we had agreed when we got married that when we started a family, we would move to a small town. It sort of sucks, but I'm only a 45-minute drive from a theater and good restaurants. It's not like we're in the middle of the woods. We live in Canada. Weed is fully legal here. I like to make weed butter and cook with it. I make brownies or fudge, and my wife and I both partake. Well, her not so much right now because she's breastfeeding. My wife insisted that we give her mom a key for emergencies. I disagree, but I lost the vote. So we talked about it, and I said I was fine with it, but it was only for emergencies. She wasn't to use it to come over and clean up or anything like that. Her mom agreed, and we gave her a key. Super shocked that she just agreed. Also shocked that you actually said that to her. We're teeing up some real good mother-in-law drama right now, it seems like. I think we all know that you just didn't want her to see your kinky red room. Yeah, that room, no, that's just a storage room. It's a mess. Yeah, don't even bother going in there. It's actually a hazard. Just stay away from there. Well, she followed the rules for about 2 months. My wife is out of town in the city for the weekend visiting friends. Since it's an hour drive to that side of the city, she is just staying there. I came home last night and found my mother-in-law high as a kite in my living room. She had decided that since my wife was out of town, I needed a home-cooked meal. One thing led to another, and she found some fudge. That's not usually where one thing led to another leads to, right? She done got fudged up. She was so high, all she was doing was staring at the TV. Indica will do that to you. I called my wife and laughed my ass off. She's giving me shit for letting her mom get high and for laughing at her mom. Mother-in-law is currently resting in the guest bedroom. My wife's stepdad came to get her, but she is not moving. We had a few beers and we watched the Jays get destroyed. She came into our room and ate my stuff without permission. I'm not really upset. She's super helpful and she has always been nice to me. I just think it's hilarious. But my wife says I'm an asshole for laughing at her mom. Edit, small update. Just talked to mother-in-law. She absolutely knew what she was eating. She just hadn't had any in a while, and I guess was expecting more of an experience like Cheech and Chong. Not the genetically modified hybrid that I buy. Well, that's a plot twist. She knew, and she intentionally got fudged up. Wow. And you thought moving to a small town was going to be boring. Seeing your parents or grandparents get high has got to be some of the funniest shit in the world. What he doesn't tell us is what does his wife think now that she knows that the mother-in-law knew and got fudged up on purpose. We don't know how that's changed. So if the mother-in-law had not known what she was eating, dude still wouldn't be the asshole. It's not like he handed it to her. It's not like he carved it up and put it up in saran wrap and wrote her name on it so that when she opened the fridge or saw it on the counter, she was like, oh, this is intended for me. Hell no. Number one, she wasn't supposed to be there. Number two, she just got into his shit. He didn't even know until he came home and found her high as fudge. She knew what it was. She knew she was going to get high. She knew she wasn't supposed to be there. So one of the previous times that she had been there, did she see the weed fudge and then know your wife was out of town, think you wouldn't be home and was like, I think I'll just stop by real quick and sneak myself in, carve out a little piece of that weed fudge, and I'll have myself an evening. So if anybody's the asshole here, it's the mother-in-law. She took your shit, and I'm guessing you would have given it to her if she had asked for it, but she was sneaky as F, broke into your house and took your weed fudge, dude. In America, there's retribution for that kind of thing. I'm glad it all resolved itself, and surely Wifey Poo isn't still mad. Hopefully she's had time to process it by now. Am I the asshole for getting mad that I kept getting woken up? I get up for work at 4 a.m. most days of the week, and this morning was one of them. Last night, my wife had to close at her work and didn't get home until 10:30 p.m. Our toddler was having a hard time going to sleep, so was still awake when my wife got home. It eventually got her down around 11 p.m. With only 5 hours until I had to get up for work, I went right to sleep and was woken up 10 minutes later with a question about the dog. John, do you think she needs to go out and potty again? No, I took her out less than an hour ago. She's fine. I went back to sleep. 10 minutes later, I'm woken up again. Are you sure you locked the door when you came back in? Yes. I try to sleep. Can you check? She's watching the new Netflix show about Dahmer on her phone. It is obvious now to her that we are going to be murdered. And 8:10. I check the locks, and guess what? They are locked. I go back to sleep. 10 minutes later, I'm woken up again. I think the dog needs to go out. I can hear the dog loudly drinking water in the other room. She doesn't. Oh, but she's walking around. Can you take her out real quick? Of course my wife can't. Someone might see her in her pajamas. Now I am wide awake again. Fine, I say a bit more forcefully than it probably needs to be. I throw on a t-shirt and sweatpants and spend 15 minutes walking around while my dog sniffs and doesn't go to the bathroom. I come in, lock the door, let the dog off of her leash, and go to bed. What took so long out there? My wife is still watching the Dahmer special. She didn't need to go. Oh, that stinker. Did you lock the door behind you when you came in? Yes. Can you go check? No, I will not go check. It's almost midnight and I have to be up in 4 hours. Let me sleep. She hasn't spoken to me since then. But then again, she's probably not awake yet. This is funny as shit. No, you're definitely not the asshole for drawing the line in the sand and saying, I have to get this sleep. At least I don't think so. I guess that really depends on your normal relationship dynamic. If this is something that was way beyond what you would normally say to her, then it may be in the asshole meter for your relationship. Every relationship is different. Her watching Dahmer as the overtone for this entire situation unfolding is fucking hilarious. And I probably would have said something like, quit watching that shit, it's making you paranoid. I can't get down with Dahmer, man. We got one episode in and we're like, I don't think this is the kind of vibe we're looking for in our lives right now. Rings of Power? Sure. House of the Dragon? Sure. Creepy fucking Dahmer killing and eating people? And it's a true story? And Evan Peters playing his role too well and seeming creepy as F was enough for us to be like, moving on. But it seems like it's made her paranoid. And I'm sure the next step to this, if you hear something again, is you speaking up and saying, you do realize that you're being paranoid because you're watching a show based on a true story about a dude killing and eating people. Doors are locked. Dog is fine. I must sleep now. Goodbye. Am I the asshole for yelling at my pregnant sister because she ate my dinner? I, female 18, live with my mom and stepdad, and my older sister Lily, female 24. Lily is around 6 months pregnant with her first baby and moved back in after her boyfriend dumped her. After a long day at uni lectures, I came home and made myself dinner. After putting it on a plate, I left it in the kitchen whilst I went to the toilet, and I got distracted because the family dog needed to be let outside to go pee. Toilet time for everybody. By the time I got back to the kitchen, Lily had eaten my dinner. My sandwich! My sandwich! I told Lily that was my dinner, and she just stared at me in silence. I went to go make some cup noodles and told Lily this was annoying. Lily said she was hungry and said she's eating for two and told me to shut my mouth. And why should I care? I started yelling at Lily and told her she should be apologizing after eating my dinner and that maybe she should learn how to cook for herself if she's so damn hungry. Lily started screaming at me like a demon to the point where I didn't understand what she was saying and grabbed my cup noodles and threw them out the window, leaving me dinnerless and cup noodleless. Lily stormed out and went into her room. I told my mom and stepdad what had happened as they were very confused by the commotion. My mom told me I escalated the situation by yelling at her and by my comments, and I should apologize to Lily, and that she's probably just hormonal. I don't think Lily is owed an apology. I think she was just being a jerk. But what do you guys think? Remember, OP is 18, hasn't been through a pregnancy, hasn't seen a lot of women going through pregnancy, doesn't understand it. We grown-ass men can tell you from firsthand experience that when a woman is pregnant, number one, when it comes to food, step back, okay? Because the hunger that a pregnant woman experiences can turn her into a different person. Beyond her control, definitely not her fault, she's not in control. If you remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Krang, the big robot with the brain dude that's like in the stomach, like controlling the whole thing with little joysticks and shit. I imagine that's what it's like to be pregnant. And your sister was clearly going through some of this. Her Krang had her talking like a demon, which is concerning. That baby was very hungry. But part of this might be her just being a shit stick as well. The demon talk and chucking the noodles out the window, debatable. I'm sure in those moments she felt like she didn't have any control, but it was probably influenced by the fact that you're sisters and you're 18 and you don't get it, and so on and so forth. In the future, I would highly warn against engaging in battle with a pregnant woman unless absolutely necessary. In this case, it wasn't. It sucked that she ate your dinner, but was it worth the cost of battle? Probably not, because you lost your noodles too. And there was drama. So give her a wide berth, pun completely unintended. And when it comes to food, run. And why should I care?